Hello and welcome to a Squadron 42 development update for April 2022 Star Citizen's single-player campaign. We have Cloud Imperium currently in the process of moving studios, both in Manchester, UK and Frankfurt, Germany. These are bigger, better campus-style studios. We know that Chris Roberts is in the UK as well, helping finish out Squadron 42 this year, and lots of operations, including the Inside Star Citizen, Disco Lando, video operations have moved over or are moving over to the UK, and a load of heavy hitters have been moved onto working on Squadron 42 or elements and teams that support Squadron 42 as their priority. We don't have any dates for Squadron 42's release yet. It's still making progress, and it looks to me, though, that Cloud Imperium might start promoting it more traditionally, hopefully at some point this year, probably around CitizenCon time, but we will have to wait and see. Let's delve into what Cloud Imperium have been working on over the last few weeks in regard to Squadron, as well as AI and engine work that is very much tied to both Squadron and Star Citizen's persistent universe. So the AI content team have begun taking the AI behaviors from test levels and adding them to Squadron 42's locations. The development of the deck crew wild lines progressed well. AI content recently gained the ability to trigger wild lines when an NPC enters a usable. For example, an engineer saying, "Let's see if I can fix this," as they inspect a damaged pipe. The next step is to have AI react audibly if a ship returns to the hangar without a wing or with heavy damage. Using tech created by AI Tech, AI content enabled the deck crew and utility AI behavior to push movable consoles and trolleys around a hangar, adding more variety to the background life there. The AI Tech team also added further improvements for locomotion and grip posing on trolleys with different layouts, and began implementing parking spots for movable objects. Until recently, all red shirt NPCs, procedure-generated characters with randomized faces and bodies, shared the same walk locomotion animations. The team implemented 25 different walk cycles, which led to a significant visual improvement, as more of the game's population now walk and run with varying styles and speeds. The AI content team also progressed the eat and drink behavior that allows NPCs to obtain sustenance from usables, such as the chow line or vending machines. The team added the final polish to the drinks vendor feature, and work on the food vendor is coming to an end, with the designers creating tutorial videos and written documentation to help the level design teams implement more food vendors throughout the verse. Additionally, the team provided bug support fixing for an upcoming event. The tourist and tour guide AI behaviors didn't move or speak since they were last used, which, after an initial investigation, turned out to be caused by changes to the animation database. The security vending machine and arcade machine work mentioned in previous reports progressed well, with final animation polish passes currently underway. The AI feature team continued to work on Vandal AI. They focused on the player shooting down Vandal waves before they reach close combat range, with ranged enemies providing covering fire. On the human combat side, the team wrapped up support for reactions to dead bodies. The team also polished the behavior that allows Marines to use the firing range. Previously, stances were set up for use in specific alignment slots, the different options for accessing a usable. Now, stances are set up for different uses. The team also set up enter and scooch animations that blend correctly from the current stance into the usable's target stance. Finally, for AI features, functionality was implemented to allow the team to process subsumption events through the audio map, which simulates event propagation as audio stimuli. This is currently used to allow NPCs to alert friendly characters that they found a dead body. AI Tech began the month addressing feedback on the initial implementation of planetary navigation tech, which was then passed on to several teams for use in various scenarios. One improvement is the addition of a priority manager to help calculate which areas require navigation mesh regeneration. The positions of players, NPCs, and vehicles are currently used to determine where nav mesh is required. To enable the designers to request realistic NPC reinforcements on planets via spaceships, the team began developing functionality to allow NPC pilots to spawn and adjust the dynamic landing and takeoff splines. They also improved the spline creation process for smoother landings and takeoffs, and adjusted the tactical point system queries to work on planets and find the points where NPCs will move to as they disembark. Simple behaviors were implemented to showcase this new feature, AI tech continued to refactor the NPC movement request system to allow for more consistent synchronization of states between server and client, and to unify the way NPC movements are processed to reduce inconsistencies. The vehicle features team worked alongside AI on behaviours that will benefit both the persistent universe and Squadron. The aim is to improve flight behaviours to be more dynamic and closer to how human players behave in combat. They also focused on a ship tactic for fighters taking on capital ships. The animation team worked on zero-G movement, helmet equipping, standing at and using tables, work zones, blockouts for Big Benny's noodles, tactile chair animations, vandal combat, consoles, and cowering and surrendering. They also set up work for female spec ops development, progressed with generic enter and exit improvements to help streamline the development of AI usables, and worked through the second pass finalization for the story cast characters. Environment Art continued to work on 3 key chapters alongside design, while R&D and large asset passes on several late game chapters began. They also collaborated with the flight design team to create an appropriate sense of scale for the overworld spacescapes. Cinematics predominantly worked on 3 chapters during March: the Archon mining facility, FPS sections on a planet, and the opening chapter. For the mining facility, they further developed the station's tram system. The station will approximately be 8 kilometers in length, with players using the tram to progress. The team also prototyped a scene involving a mining tick landing and then walking into the main hangar to be unloaded to a cargo train. For the planet-side FPS, an older scene shown during a vertical slice stream was further polished, receiving improved animations, cameras, and player inclusion. For the opening chapter, the team created spines for fighters, capital ships, and the player's hub ship, and more. They also further expanded the Vandal fleet with new created ship types and are currently progressing with the remaining battle sequences. They also added more hangar activity scenes that occur before a large battle. In March, the physics team added a new soft body deformation approach for character cloth. They also reduced the steering of vehicles' rear wheels at high speeds. Planet height maps and planet terrain shadows are now fully ported. Meanwhile, a bug in the processing of scattering queries for clouds was revealed to be an application issue and fixed. The feature team worked on weapon kiosk screens for the Master at Arms, where players can see what weapon attachments and grenades are available, along with descriptions and statistics. From there, the players can ask the Master at Arms to provide them weapons to try out at the firing range, or have them delivered to their weapons locker for use in the next mission. March saw the gameplay story team progress with some big ticket updates on complicated scenes. As part of this, they polished a walk and talk scene in Chapter 5, improved a major scene in Chapter 12, and progressed with a complicated scene in Chapter 14 involving a medical gurney. The team also continued to add new audio and facials to the random to NPC scenes. They delivered 8 this month, with only a couple remaining. A major scene in Chapter 5 with multiple characters quickly boarding a tram was delivered before the team moved on to looking at how characters exit scenes early when the situation changes in-game. For the ongoing Gen 12 renderer transition, the graphics team fixed various bugs, such as shadow flickering, level of detail ratio issues caused by the porting of skinned meshes, and multiple crash fixes. For Vulkan, minor changes were made to descriptor indexing for internal bugs. More specifically for Squadron 42, fixes were implemented for gas cloud-related bugs, and the team continued to develop the retro-reflective effect in Layer Blend. The FPS team completed the final gameplay implementation for several early chapters. Work is currently ongoing on moving a number of mechanics and chapters towards alpha so they can begin testing and balancing gameplay. The Space and Dogfight team supported the other design teams in bringing early chapters to vertical slice quality. They also worked alongside the art team to finalize the size and gameplay locations in the Odin system that now has quantum travel and quantum boost mechanics closer to final. The narrative team had several playthrough sessions with the design team to look closely at the moment-to-moment experiences of 2 specific levels. The team also began creating and implementing discoverable lore throughout the game to help players learn more about the narrative of the universe and provide further rewards for level exploration. Development progressed on a new NPC profession, with the initial script being written, adjusted and recorded as scratch dialogue. The next step is to see how the temporary dialogue feels in-game and make adjustments. The UI designers and artists worked worked alongside the system designers on pre-production for a variety of screens, including the layout and visuals of several interactive screens throughout the game. An improved concept for the door UI panels was signed off too. The team also continued to update the design and look of the mobiGlas and star map to fit the feel and gameplay of Squadron 42. The visor and lens were also set up to run in building blocks, which gives the team new optimizations and lays the groundwork for the active feature team to add new features. March saw the VFX team complete an implementation pass on a key location, which involved fully populating the location with representative effects, and then they'll return later to that to polish and fully optimize them. They also continue to fine-tune several important weapon effects, including rendering a new muzzle flash firing texture sequence from Houdini to help emphasize a weapon's power. Great progress was made on a key destruction sequence utilizing some clever simulation techniques to help give the appearance of metal bending and tearing rather than fracturing like stone. Boom! That's it for your Squadron 42 update for April 2022. Are you happy with the progress Squadron is making, or is it hugely too slow for you, or too obscured in its development? Do you want to hear more about Squadron 42 more regularly? When do you think we'll see Squadron 42 in our hands? Is it a dream to have it at the end of the year? I think probably so, but maybe we could have it middle of next year. Do you prefer Squadron 42 or Star Citizen's Persistent Universe? Are you into that single player or that multiplayer MMO? Do you have room for both in your heart, maybe? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I was feeling tired and sluggish. I found out that I was allergic to adverts and malware in 2022, which means I can't use the internet. If only there was a service that could help. Wait! There is! NordVPN.com/BoredGamer! It's NordVPN that I use, and it blasts away a load of my advert and malware-based concerns, while allowing me to freely explore the internet. Maybe I want to be in the USA today, and pretend that I'm an American. What's this? Now I'm down under in the Australias? Wait, now I'm in the UK. Okay, I live there. That is less impressive. NordVPN has done so much for me. Sign up with the links below or go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For April 2022, we're giving away an Origin 400i. It's a luxury exploration and touring ship, which will be great for a small crew wishing to explore the stars or try out a multitude of other gameplay. It's like a little yacht in space, a little piece of luxury. All you need to do to be in for a chance to win that is comment on any of my videos made during April 2022. More details in the description below. If you wish to further support the channel, consider clicking the join button under my videos to become a channel member or even become a Patreon. That goes a massive way in helping with our day-to-day videos and gives you a variety of little exclusives as well. But it should just make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Join today! Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment if so inclined, and I'll see you in the verse.